So I'm one of the first American acupuncturists. I'm an herbalist, and I practiced that way. And before then, I got my training as a registered dietitian. I did 4 years of graduate school in neurophysiology. Worked at Sloan Kettering Cancer Center doing basic research. And then for the last many years, I've been in private practice. And in 2009, I was mentored by Bill Bengston in his method. And I'd known about him and his method since 1994. And I know that because I learned I did the pregnancy test for my now, however old she is, daughter at his house. So it was sort of an interesting meeting. But in 2009, I said, it's time for me to learn this for real. And so he graciously let me bring my patients to him, and he tutored me on how to do that. And after, I don't know, 6 to 12 months, it felt like I knew what to do. And I would tune in psychically to Bill and ask him for guidance. And he said that was fine. He says, doesn't care as long as it didn't cost him money or time, and or mostly time. And anyway, I found that the source that taught him his method, I had access to. And so I felt like I didn't really need his continuing tutelage. And I'm kind of a free spirit, so I kind of branched out on my own. So since 2009, I've been specializing in this method. I got a couple cancer cures, and there's something about that that changes you. It's, up until then, I had not really been able to do anything with cancer except a little bit of palliative care. I really felt like I was not that powerful with it, with acupuncture and herbs. So then came the problem of how to do this, because, it's a new, unproven technique that shows some promise. The Bengston Method shows some promise in cancer because so many peer-reviewed university studies were being done by Bengston on it, showing complete cancer remissions in mice. But it was still experimental with people, and the mice are genetically similar and all have all these strict controls, but what do you do with a complex individual? So I saw Bengston as a researcher, an amazing, talented healer, but his love in life is his research. And I saw myself as a therapist, as a healer, people came to me to get better. They didn't come to me to test a hypothesis. And yet I have this, all the dissertation in neurophysiology. I do understand science, and I've been to the first 2 years of medical school. I've been, I haven't done basic research my whole career, but I've dabbled with those things, right? So I have a well-trained mind. And I feel like it's helped me. So then over the last many years, I've been, and I will get to the point of why we're doing this Facebook, how this is going to help us with the Facebook, the healing today. I encountered problem after problem after problem with people. So there was a problem of the families. The families just went berserk. Now it's not so bad, but back 10 or 15 years ago, it was bad. If a person wanted to do the Bengston Method, they really felt the family members felt like you'd gone off on the deep end. And it was hard. So then I wrote my book, Energy Medicine for Pets with Cancer. There is another way, Energy Medicine for Pets with Cancer. It's available on Amazon. There's also some YouTube videos where I just read it. I think I did that last year. And I kind of updated the content if you want to just listen to it. It's on YouTube. So I was thinking maybe I can get the cancer cures that I want if I just get a lot of animals coming in there. And I had a bunch of personal spiritual experiences that affirmed to me that the animals are kind of leading the way. Think about it. the mouse research was leading the way. Like there's something important about the involvement of animals, and that's one of the many reasons why I include animals in this group, is because of that whole thing. All right, so another problem I had was money, because I went bankrupt at one point, and it was because I was not charging enough for my treatments, and I was just, it's like a drug. When you're a healer and a helper, like you don't care about money, you just want to help people. But I kind of learned the hard way that you have to take care of yourself. So I thought, how in the world can I do this so that I can take care of myself and take care of other people? And this Facebook group is part of that. I really, really, really would love to do this all day long for free, I think. Not all day long, but, you know, a lot. It's like it's such a creative art, the healing art that calls on every ounce of my intelligence and clairvoyance and experience. So that's good. But so what I've done is I've created this Facebook Live group where I can just pour all that skill into this format for this Facebook Live group. And I can just give it for free, because otherwise I just want to give it for free here and there and everywhere, and then I don't take care of myself. So I made a promise to myself that when I went bankrupt that I would charge for my services. So this is like a container for it, so that I can still do some things for free. And I sometimes think the best things in life are free. So, you know, I really give with full enthusiasm to this process. Another way I worked out the financial problem with people is I realized that with the Bengston Method, coming once or twice a week, or even every day, to a healer doesn't work as well as if you could get 4 treatments a day, which is like really impractical unless you live with them. So another way I broke through on how to like really make this work for people is, instead of focusing on people paying me, they pay me to coach them so that they do 99% of the work. And so it becomes affordable because you don't need me that much, and yet you still have the confidence that you're doing something. You know, I'm there to help you with your technique and to give you my clinical experience to see if you're on the right track or not. Because the actual Bengston Method is kind of simple, but the confidence to do it is not so simple. So I think that's what's going on there too. And then working out animals, working out frequencies of treatment, then how to tell if it's working. That's been a big project of mine, because I really get that the Bengston Method is not belief-based. In fact, that actually interferes with it working, which is different than what the New Testament says. With all due respect to the Bible, this is not that, okay? And so I sometimes wonder, because this really works, and it comes from such a beautiful place, and is so lofty and good. I mean, that's what I experience with the healing that I work with. Sometimes wonder if the translation with the Bible should say, you know, resonate with me, not believe in me. Resonate means you find it. Belief means you kind of put a box around it and prevent the quantum energies from, you know, something beyond belief to come in. So I've been working through that. And then, okay, so, all right, so I went from being a dietitian to an acupuncturist to an herbalist. Oh, I was also a sound healer for a long time. I became senior faculty at the Acutonics Institute of Integrative Medicine, and I taught sound healing to nurses, to acupuncturists, to all sorts of people. I also trained the staff at the Elizabeth Seton Pediatric Hospital, because tuning forks and sound could be used to help with the pain that the kids had so much of, whereas acupuncture, they had laws against how many needle punctures you could do a day. Yet the acupuncture meridians are just nicer to access with tuning forks. So all this comes in to, okay, so I thought I was a sound healer, and then I decided I need to go and be in nature, so I figured out how to go live in a van for 5 years, and a lot of my videos you see me out there doing that. And so then I became a distance healer, and now I'm back in some sticks and bricks. I don't know how long or where my life will take me next, but I feel that I'm becoming a teacher and a writer. It's like I'm on my 5th profession now, and so yeah. So I spent a long time creating a blog out of last week's video, which was on names. So this is where we're coming full circle and actually helping us with the healing. And I thought, you know, a lot of the things I'm saying, I'm kind of expecting the reader to know, like, and trust me and believe in me, which is really not my style. I like to explore and collaborate, which is kind of hard to do if you're not having a conversation. But what came to me, which I didn't say last week, was last week we were talking about the importance of the names. Like when I say the name, how it helps to be conscious of that. And anyway, when the blog comes out, if you're on my email list, you'll get it, or you can go to my website to the blog section and read it. It should be out within days or a week at the most, I think. Anyway, so a part of this thing that I came up with is that instead of believing in me, let's do some experiments in this Facebook group with the power of the name. All right, we really haven't worked with the name so much. So a name is a psychic address, an astral address that helps you connect to people in a dimension where there is no time and space. So that's why it doesn't matter that remote healing people are remote, because that's not the dimension where you're connecting. And the Bengston Method is really just connect and spin. It's that simple. So if you aren't with them, you have to find another way to connect. And there's lots of ways to connect astrally. And one way is the name. And okay, so let's talk about some experiments about how we could play with these names. And then instead of believing in what I say, you could have your own deeper relationship to this Facebook healing group. And I know a lot of you are here every week, and I so appreciate your presence, because I feel like it helps you and it helps the others.